Just going into the normal bin, then it's creating all these really bad greenhouse gases and contributing to climate change. But the benefit for community gardens is that we can't generate as much compost on our own, so we need the addition of council compost to help us grow vegetables and renew the soil so we get the best productivity from the garden.
Sometimes when we get the compost, there's contaminants in it, like plastics, biodegradable bags. Some of them are not quite suitable for the process that the compost goes through. We have to then sort through the compost and pull them out, otherwise they're going to contaminate all our vegetables and the earth that we're trying to re-nourish with the compost.
Messages go around on Facebook saying, hey, there's zucchini or cucumbers in the basket at Pentridge, and they're gone in, half an hour later. So we just like to share it with the community because that's what it's about.
In Marybeck, we now have a 4-bin waste service. All households need to separate mixed recycling, glass recycling, food and garden organics, and general rubbish. This will help reduce the amount of waste we send to landfill and improve the quality of recyclables in Victoria. Glass bottles and jars now go in your new glass recycling bin. Lids must be firmly attached. Loose lids go in your general rubbish bin. Steel tins, aluminium cans and foil, paper and cardboard, and plastic bottles and containers go in your mixed recycling bin. Food scraps and garden clippings go in your food and garden organics bin. You can use paper towels to wrap your food waste. Put your glass bottles and jars, food scraps and mixed recycling in the bin loose, not in bags. Plastic bags and other items that can't be reused or recycled go in your general rubbish bin. This includes kitty litter, animal droppings, old textiles and nappies. General rubbish should be bagged or wrapped. Update your recycling knowledge today. Learn what goes in each bin by visiting mary-back.vic.gov.au/recycling-guide.
Hi, I'm Adam Pulford, Mayor at Marybeck City Council, and today I'm at the Fawkner Leisure Centre. In April last year, we closed the doors here to make way for the first stage of a huge $36.8 million redevelopment. We listened to the community and we're upgrading the centre to make it modern and more accessible and sustainable. So come, let's check it out. I'm here in the shell of the new 50-metre outdoor pool. The pool will have 8 lanes and can be split into 2 with a unique float-up divider. It'll be the perfect spot to get your swim in or to cool down when we reopen next summer. Our interactive water play area and beach entry pool is also taking shape. This is completely new to Fawkner Leisure Centre, and featuring a walk-in entry, this accessible and user-friendly space will surely become a family favourite. Now to the new gym and group fitness spaces. As you can see, construction is underway, ready to house the new 375 square metre gym floor, which is 100 square metres bigger than before, as well as 2 dedicated group fitness spaces. This is going to be a state-of-the-art facility designed to get more people in our community to be more active more often. With the centre set to reopen in time for next summer, we're excited to keep sharing with you updates as everything takes shape. So make sure you're following along as we bring the new Fawkner Leisure Centre to life.
Why did we decide to go all electric? The primary motivation was obviously to reduce our carbon footprint as a family, especially with a young son, 8-year-old, who's attending primary school and learning all about climate change and how we can do our bit in reducing the impact. Since purchasing this house, we've installed solar panels, and we've also converted all our appliances cooktop into induction cooktop. removing the gas cooktop. We've installed the split systems and also the hot water heat pump. At the moment, we export most of our electricity that we produce on a sunny day, which is not a bad thing because we do get paid for that exporting the electricity. What I would recommend others thinking of going on this journey of making their home all electric is to do it. But you can take it one step at a time, there's no rush, and there's a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of government rebates that you can access as well. There's Merri-beg City Council website, there's Renew, there's also My Efficient Electric Home Facebook page where you can consult and talk to people that are on this journey.
The compost that we receive from Merri-beg Council that's made from the waste from our green bins, the food and organics waste, is a fantastic resource. A lot of carbon, a lot of organic matter that goes to building up the soil here, combined with the compost that we make ourselves. You know, a really brilliant resource for the garden, and it produces fantastic crops, as you can see behind me.
Well, obviously, it's really important to compost food. If it's just going into the normal bin, then it's creating all these really bad greenhouse gases and contributing to climate change. But the benefit for community gardens is that we can't generate as much compost on our own, so we need the addition of council compost to help us grow vegetables and renew the soil, so we get the best productivity from the garden.
Sometimes when we get the compost, there's contaminants in it, like plastics, biodegradable bags. Some of them are not quite suitable for the process that the compost goes through. We have to then sort through the compost and pull them out, otherwise they're going to contaminate all our vegetables and the earth that we're trying to re-nourish with the compost.
Messages go around on Facebook saying, hey, there's zucchini or cucumbers in the basket at Pentridge and they're gone in, you know, half an hour later. So we just like to share it with the community because that's what it's about.
Hi, I'm Adam Pulford and I'm your newly elected Mayor at Merri-beg City Council. I was originally born in the Northern Territory, but since then I've made my home here in Merri-beg. I love our progressive, creative and diverse community. There's so many... Good evening, councillors, and to our viewers live streaming tonight's meeting. My name's Councillor Adam Pulford and I'm the Mayor of Merri-beg City Council and the chairperson of tonight's special council meeting. My pleasure to welcome you to tonight's meeting. We're meeting on the lands of the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people, and we wish to acknowledge them as traditional custodians of land and the lands and waterways in this area, and pay our respects to their elders past and present, as well as to all other First Nations community members who may be tuning in this evening. This council meeting is being recorded and web streamed live to council's website and Facebook. The recording will also be available as video on demand. A reminder that as councillors, we will act in accordance with the Councillor Code of Conduct, which will support the principles of leadership and good governance that secures public confidence in the office of councillor. I'd like to introduce the councillors in attendance this evening. We've got Councillor Oscar Yudiz.
Good evening, everyone.
Councillor Mark Riley. Mark, we couldn't just hear you then.
I'll have to go and check my...
Oh, yeah, no, we can hear you now. Great.
Good evening.
Yeah, great. Councillor Angelica Panopoulos.
Hi.
Councillor Helen Pavlidis.
Good evening.
Councillor Helen Davidson.
Good evening, everyone.
And Councillor Anna-Olivia Carley-Hannon.
Good evening.
We also have our CEO, we also have Councillor Sue Bolton, who's just joined us. Sue, can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Yes, we can hear you. Great. And we have our CEO, Kathy Henderson, here, and members of our council officers too. Councillor Tapanos is an apology. He's at another council event this evening. On to disclosures of conflicts of interest. Are there any conflicts of interest to declare, councillors? No. So we only have one report to consider this evening. It's item 4.1, contract variation, Hoskin Reserve Master Plan implementation civil works. Do I have a mover for this item? Councillor Riley to move. And is there a seconder? Councillor Carly Hannon. Councillor Riley, you're moving the officer recommendation, I assume? You're just on mute, sorry, Councillor.
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
Yeah. Go ahead as mover.
Thanks. Look, clearly this is a big item to be considering at short notice, but the works that we're doing at Hoskin Reserve are much greater than these sums we're looking at today. But we've had an update from the CEO prior to tonight indicating that some of these contracts should have been raised with us earlier, but they weren't. And as a consequence, most of the work that's going on is work that we need to have done in any case. And really, this is a way of rectifying an error that's occurred. So fortunately, we don't have too many of these things going on at council, and it's not great practice, but it's a good way of tidying matters up. And whilst I would prefer not to be doing it, we do need to do it to keep this work going, and Hoskin Reserve is something very big on our agendas for this term of council, and something that many of the residents there are very keen to see completed. So we don't want to slow the works down. And this way we can keep rolling on with the works, catching up with the costs incurred. But importantly, and apropos of tonight's decision, there will be a investigation as to how this sort of came about, why we didn't pick it up earlier and avoid this sort of late notice. And the Audit and Risk Committee will also be looking at it in their meeting coming up this week as well. So that's an important sideline to tonight's decision. But I think this picks up a raft of work that we would have had to have approved, or the delegated officers, our executive officers, would have had to have approved at some point. And this is a good way of bringing it all together and seeing that we're actually signing off on it. So at $1.289 million, it's pretty important that we do this and we address the shortfall in the contract in the coming review of our budget in December, when we look at the sort of halfway point and how we can actually cover this shortfall, which wasn't really budgeted for. So not insignificant, and it's really important that we do this as well as we can, and that we try and work out how we can avoid doing this in the future and learn from it. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Riley. Councillor Carly Hannon.
Nothing further to add.
Do any other councillors wish to speak to this item? No, we might move to a vote then. So all those in favour? And I can declare that carried unanimously. All right, well, that was the only item on our agenda. So thank you, councillors, for being here this evening, and thank you to the officers for making this happen when it needed to. So thanks everyone who's joined us. Have a good evening.
Thanks all. All right.